Popular TikTok artist and art tutor for less privileged manga art style students, Maron, is apparently beefing with another popular TikTok artist and art tutor on the platform called Aqua, who has now been labeled as a bum and is now being referred to as the Timu version of Maron in the TikTok art community. In a TikTok video Aqua posted where they called out Maron for being a bum and having inaccurate proportions in his drawings, which stirred up so much drama in the TikTok art community a couple of weeks ago, causing both fans of Aqua and Maron to immediately start clashing heads in the comment section of the videos, exchanging words and balling up their fists in their arguments for who amongst these two spectacular artists is the fairest of them all and apparently the better artist in the pair. All Maron does is sexualize minors and it goes viral. I thought all he did was make relatable art tutorials for artists on TikTok. We'll come back to that later. All Maron does is just copy manga panels, which is an okay thing to do, but gets more views than people who don't. The art community used to be filled with nice people who supported each other's work. Now it's just toxic. It appears the TikTok art community is slowly reflecting the state of how artists perceive each other on the internet, and year after year, month after month, what used to be a peaceful community filled with nothing but artists encouraging and supporting one another to improve and be better at what they do is slowly becoming a slugfest of hate, bullying, and unnecessary toxic behavior to undermine the efforts of artists you don't like or are not doing as well as yourself, leading us to situations like this where artists are either bullying themselves for what could be called quote-unquote art style slander or just beefing with each other for apparently no reason at all. These TikTok art beefs have come a long way from artists just casually sharing videos on their TikTok accounts aimed at making fun of each other with harmless jokes ridiculing each other's art style to now becoming direct attacks with the aim of either calling the entire art community against the artist in question or directly trying to bully them off the platform because they made an inarguably innocent mistake. But neither of these art community drama starter packs were used to ignite the metaphorical flames of conflict in the case of today's topic of interest, and apparently it was all just banter that happened to go way overboard and upset the fans of both artists. Maron, who is an art tutor and all-round amazing artist on TikTok with over 2 million followers on his account and the sweet blessing of millions and millions of views across an impressively massive number of his videos, has built a following of people loyal to him from his sheer will and ability of starting drawings without a sketch or drawing poses and characters without reference, which happens to be a pretty normal thing for artists who have spent a decent amount of time practicing poses and drawing anatomy from memory. While there are a few metaphorical bad eggs in Maron's community who still believe Maron traces his drawings,
a good amount of people actually think I trace using this AR drawing tracing app that I don't even know of, but I can assure you I do not.
also claim he isn't as skilled to be placed by people on such a high pedestal, but his endless videos with him drawing and sharing his art should be enough proof that he's actually just built different and really knows how to draw better than the rest of us. So the tracing claims and allegations should at least die off for now, or for the most part be replaced with something else for his haters and naysayers to add to their list of things that he should be cancelled for. Speaking about critics, it appears Maron, with his massive aura and dominance in the art community on TikTok, has pulled a rather equally massive critique on the come up with an equally impressive art style who decided to call out Maron with a video they posted on their TikTok account, which has also grown to become one of the most popular videos on their account. views and a whopping 3,500 comments was filled with people either telling them they shouldn't be dissing jmarron or starting any form of beef on the internet, while others were quick to point out the artist wasn't as good as jmarron and shouldn't be making videos calling him out. Artists try not to argue over nothing all the time challenge. Impossible. I love drawing and I think it's sad to see a lot of people bringing others down. You're good at drawing, let others be good too. Your proportions aren't all that correct either. You studied another person's art style and imitated it without correcting it with your own. While Aqua's video started going viral, racking up views and making people in the art community have to choose sides in this conflict of pencils between two equally amazing artists, jmarron saw Aqua's call out video and responded to it with a video of his own, showing his exquisite art in the process, but also seeming prepared if this beef was to go on.
Why do I always wake up to jmarron? So this guy posted a video about me saying he's better than me and calling me a bum. But you can literally see in his comments everybody's taking my side. It's funny that I've never made a video hating or criticizing any of these people that hate on me. And by the way, you're not the only one that can draw using a pen.
In the caption of the video, he responded with a quote from everyone's favorite show Avatar, and the video itself was equally filled with comments of people calling Aqua a desperate hater and saying Aqua was beefing with jmarron for no reason and his entire call out video was totally pointless. Aqua and his fandom don't want any fight at all, they just want attention, which is a really tricky situation, just starting beef with another artist because you supposedly want attention. There's enough of attention for the platform without having to start beef with another artist or an artist you should be collaborating with in the first place. Aqua defended his claim with his reason being he had no idea the post was going to go viral and he just decided to try out something new for the first time, and it happened to instantly go viral, which essentially is a good reason, but calling another artist a bum just to prove a point or claim you're better than them is definitely a blow below the belt if you ask me. Indirectly calling their proportions awful in the caption is also not doing anything but fueling the fire to this already sparky situation, and was definitely not an encouraging thing to say to your mute if you really were just trying things out in a bid to go viral. Aqua then proceeded to make another video calling jmarron a fraud because he apparently draws with reference and uses a sketch in his drawings, which doesn't make much sense to me because using a sketch in your drawing is something every artist does, and not using one isn't really something you should brag about for the most part if both artists who use a reference and sketch and those who don't still end up with good drawings. But then another artist saw his video and called him out for using a sketch in his drawing and faking his start so people think he doesn't start with a sketch. Aqua, after seeing this video, swiftly posted his response video to the accusations, claiming he did no such thing and asking for a formal apology from the artist who made the video, since apparently he also falsely reported his account. Without copying from a reference. You all need to stop glazing. Not gonna lie, the hating is crazy. It's just a drawing. Why does it matter? Bro can draw and it's impressive, but nothing to argue over. I'm on your side, but how does drawing without a sketch make you a better artist? Like, yeah, it's a cool skill to have, but I don't see how it makes you better. Finally, I'm genuinely impressed that artists on TikTok are beginning to see these situations for what they are and are all making statements for everyone to just clear the air and enjoy art for what it is instead of arguing for who's better or not. If we step away from the drama for just a minute and try to enjoy everyone's art for what it is, we will all unanimously come to the same agreement that both of these artists are really good. And and although they have similar art styles and could almost be confused as being the same people, they're both unique and equally skilled at making art. There literally is no need for any beef between these two artists, but I guess we're in the end game now. If there's one thing I've come to realize most artists on social media are all equally struggling with at the same time, is finding decent paying commissions or even finding commissions at all in this time of drought and scarcity. With the recent scarcity of art commissions on TikTok, it appears earning a buck or two has become quite the challenge for artists trying to keep their landlords at bay and put food on the table for themselves and their families legally. This is where Printify swoops in to save the day. With Printify, you can build an extra source of income by selling print-on-demand products on TikTok through the TikTok Shop program. Artists already posting content on TikTok can monetize their content without needing to have tens of thousands of followers. There are tons of products you can sell on TikTok Shop, but print-on-demand products are the easiest to start with since it doesn't require any investment or pre-ordering. Products like t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and other pieces of clothing are readily available for you on demand to print and put on sale after you customize them and add your drawings or designs. Other items like mugs, blankets, magnets and stickers, and even phone cases are also available on Printify for artists to create merchandise and start making an extra income for themselves and their families, which is also something I intend to do in the long run so I can afford to feed my 42 goats and the rest of my chickens as an African prince earning an income on the internet. The easiest way to start selling on TikTok Shop is by capitalizing on what is currently trending on TikTok and then creating art or designs related to that trend. You can also make fan art of your favorite anime characters drawn in your own art style, or even make art of your own personal characters or themes that are unique to you. Once the design is created, go to Printify, click on the TikTok Ready product section, and then pick a product you want to sell and upload the design to it. Next, you connect your Printify account to TikTok Shop, publish the products, and then make videos to promote your products in creative ways. Using trends will ensure your videos get enough views and will end up recommending products that people are actually interested in buying. Every time you receive an order, Printify will automatically print and ship the product directly to your customer. Unlike the usual way of merchandising where you have to buy a bunch of products and then find where to store them before having to go through all the stress of drawing out the designs and then printing them yourself, Printify takes care of all that and only processes a unit of your product whenever you get a single order. Instead of having to keep an entire warehouse full of products you have already painstakingly printed but with no one to buy them from you after all your hard labor. Talk about a generational disappointment. No need for you to stress yourself bothering about any of that hard labor. The folks at Printify want you to try it out for yourself, so head over to printify.com/Mohammed Agbadi to create your own products. All the links will be in the description, and a big thank you to Printify for sponsoring this video. People in the comments started mocking Aqua, saying his drawings were stiff and the figures looked deformed just so they could prove to him that jmarron solos and jmarron was still on top. But there was no chance Aqua was letting all this slide, so he posted another video to prove to all the haters that his drawings look good and he was apparently better than jmarron according to him and his fan base. And the comments were immediately filled with people calling on Aqua to stop the hate since him and jmarron were equally good art. Both amazing. I'll admit he doesn't really do full body, but that's no reason to hate on him. Y'all are both artists and y'all are both really good, so what's the point of hating? Good question, my dear internet friend. Very good question. I really see no reason trolling the internet into thinking you hate jmarron, and since you truly don't care what others think and are only doing it to farm content off them, why do you insist on asking people to find a drawing of jmarron that is better than yours, calling him a bum, and just generally pushing nothing but negativity towards him and his fan base, and all in the while trying to build yours? that doesn't make much sense to me. While the art community on TikTok were choosing sides and each artist's fan base were arguing with each other in the comments on which of their senpais was the best around, jmarron finally decided to join in the beef and posted a video directly calling out Aqua while making a drawing Aqua had also made previously. This situation just keeps going deeper and deeper, and I just don't know what to say. Is any of this beef even necessary? Now, putting both drawings side by side, I literally can't see the difference at first glance. Both drawings look really good, although I'd say Aqua's version has more finer detail and better choice of lighting, especially around the arms and the hands. The highlights look to be slightly better on his version, while jmarron's version has a better overall pose. The head is straight on, the foreshortening looks a bit better, and there's a lot more movement and action in his drawing. But objectively speaking, both drawings are very good drawings, and only a drawing nerd like myself will notice all these little details. If I was to choose one out of both of them, I sincerely don't even know which one I'd pick, because they're just both good for different reasons. jmarron's was done in like 15 minutes with no guidelines. All he needed was a circle and no guidelines and did it faster. In my opinion, he's better. No offense. I didn't know two artists had beef, but why do they? I don't know and don't care. Art is art. Both look great. One is better in some areas, the other is better in different areas. Finally, someone is seeing things exactly the way I see them. Comparing two similar artists who are almost at the same skill level, trying to find who's the better artist amongst the two of them is always a slippery slope that ends up confusing everyone doing the comparison in the process. Art is quite subjective, and what one person might find attractive, another person will definitely say they don't like it, which happens to be the case in this situation. But alas, to everyone's surprise, jmarron, who has been referenced and called out in the video, saw Aqua's response and even left a comment, and like I will admit yours matches the reference more, especially with the hand, which is honestly a good response and just shows how nice jmarron is and proves he also is a good sportsman when it comes to friendly competition amongst arch rivals. Aqua responded saying, "Only making this video because I saw a video saying yours was more accurate." Still trying to belittle the little guy here, are we? To which jmarron responded saying, "All good, no harsh feelings. Keeping it classy and professional like a true gentleman." A round of applause for jmarron, boys and girls. Rounding up an entire dramatic squabble between equally matched artists with such a simple class act. While the people in the comments who were enjoying all this beef and were urging both artists to keep calling out each other started leaving comments asking them to continue and whatnot, a lot of the other comments all were glad this debacle was somehow coming to an end, well, at least on jmarron's part, and there was finally going to be peace in the art community at last. Some people still didn't like the fact that artists were choosing to start beef with each other and in the process call each other names instead of collaborating, and they just hated the fact that the beef for some reason just felt one-sided and unnecessary. A theory I had regarding this situation was there was a possibility both artists could potentially be the same person since their drawings were kinda similar in a way, but since both artists have both made videos where they spoke and their voices clearly didn't sound the same, then it probably meant it wasn't possible for it to be the same person. So that cancels that out. Another theory people in the comments were thinking was that jmarron and Aqua were friends and knew each other and were only starting beef as friendly competition, since drama tends to get views in the art community for some reason, since people just love to be entertained. This whole situation just caused so many unnecessary arguments between both artists' fan bases and had other artists get entangled in the drama one way or another, with each of them having their own opinions about issues regarding both artists and their drawings in the process. I think friendly competition with other artists is fine as long as it's just that, friendly competition. But once it starts to get to the point where you're both trolling each other, calling each other names and starting drama hammer and then having your followers going back and forth with each other in the comments, it begins to get out of hand and borderline leans towards a toxic and unwarranted situation in the art community. At best, let's all try to be friendly with each other and treat all our mutuals with respect while we strive to improve and be better versions of ourselves. So far, it seems the beef between Maron and Aqua has reached a point of mutual agreement and respect between both involved parties, and while there hasn't been any new call-out videos from either of them, the best we can hope for is a peaceful reconciliation from all the beef that had transpired previously, and hopefully a collaboration between the two great masters while the rest of us sit back and enjoy all the great art that comes with it. I know that's quite wishful thinking knowing how toxic the art community on TikTok can get, but at least we can try. Well, it looks like you've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share the video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.